there's only so much I can say to make fun of this because it makes fun of itself by existing. Like, my first thought was like, when's April Fool's Day? But we're in December. It's not for a very long time. Hey y'all, welcome to Cloveroom and welcome to another video in clovemas. Today I wanted to just do like a new releases video, sort of an anti-haul, maybe just sort of a general new releases video, because I feel like now's the time of year we kind of slow down on doing like anti-haul and new makeup release videos because most of the wave of holiday products and releases are out and were released well in advance of like sales and such. But I noticed a couple of things that really caught my eye on Instagram that I thought would be fun to talk about, give commentary on, and then one in particular that I think we're going to lead with that is so egregious and stupid that I felt the need. I said, don't get Andy in a camera. I said, go get Cam in a camera. We're going to talk about that too. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Cam. I'm a non-binary trans femme creator. I love to talk about beauty, but through a conscious consumerism. I always want to say conscious beauty, but no. I mean, I guess it could be too. But conscious consumerism viewpoint. And I also like to talk about gender identity, culture, the internet, stuff like that. So if all of that sounds good to you, please go ahead and subscribe. I have a lot of content coming this month for Clovemas, which is my version of Vlogmas. And if you do end up enjoying this video, I would love it if you would give it a like. Helps me a lot. So let's just jump into some of these releases. We're leading with the news today. We are not holding back the best, not the best, but the most fun release to talk about for like the end of this video. No. We're leading with the news because somebody has come into this beauty microcosm and decided to shake things up. They're sick of it. They're sick of how you can just go to any drugstore and buy a pack of makeup wipes for $7. They said, why aren't makeup wipes overpriced? Why are we leaving makeup wipes out of this? And they walked into not just the Disney Channel, they walked into Makeup HQ and said, we're going to make history. And that's what they did. Miss Isamaya decided to collab with Conserving Beauty, which is a brand I've never heard of. She said, we are going to change the game with makeup cloths. And, you know, I just want to read her words because I find them so powerful. Hit reset on your skincare ritual. Love that it's a ritual and not a routine. You know, if it's a ritual, it's going to cost you like double the money. The Isamaya and Conserving Beauty Hyaluronic Cleansing Cloths are your all-in-one essentials for makeup removal, hydration, and unparalleled skin prep. These dissolvable cloths are infused with a potent serum of hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and panthenol to cleanse, condition, and rejuvenate tired skin. Housed in a sleek, refillable aluminum canister. An artful fusion of sustainability, style, and high-performance care. Effortlessly cool, undeniably refined. So she came out with overpriced makeup wipes with the company that I guess is known for doing dissolvable makeup wipes. And I looked on that company's website and their aesthetic is so polar, like it is so normcore, like Fit Glow beauty. And so I don't know how we decided to merge as one skincare ritual innovation unit, but I'm so happy we did. So you, a pedestrian, may look at this and say, that looks like a Kleenex holder I would get for $30 at Target. And I would push back and say, no, it's a sleek, refillable aluminum canister. And it's going to elevate your space with a touch of modern luxury. And also included in this little set is a refill of these innovative makeup wipes. And so you may say, okay, well, why all the fuss? Why all the muss? Why are we leading with this as if it's so, as if it's something to talk about? Bonnie Raitt's something to talk about. Because my friend, these retail for this set, this collaboration, this industry redefining, ritual resetting duo is retailing for $145. Notice how I said a sleek aluminum canister. Not like sleek silver or sleek gold. Aluminum. Trying to sell these as like two-in-ones because they get rid of your makeup, but they also prep your skin for makeup. But if I'm taking off my makeup, I'm probably not going back in with more. It's just so puzzling what has become of this brand, of Isamaya's brand. I don't know about Conserving Beauty. I wouldn't put my name on this, but you know, maybe, I mean, I hadn't heard of them before, so maybe this is a good deal. My favorite line in all of that, which there's so there's so much to this text. It's a rich text. That marketing language that they released with this. My favorite is effortlessly cool, because I would argue that is actually the opposite of Isamaya's brand. Like, no one has tried to be more, no one has ever been more effortful. And hey, I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I love effortful. Never been a natural. All I do is try. That could be about folklore Taylor Swift. That could also be about Isamaya, because like leading with the S&M palette and like the person coming out of it, and then lipsticks. So effortful. The whole brand is effortful. And the fact that she's releasing a $145 aluminum canister with Isamaya on it and Conserving Beauty, they're in this, with 2 packs of makeup wipes for $145. And telling you that it's going to redefine your skincare ritual while also being effortlessly cool is so... Maybe she is onto something, because it's beyond parody at this point. It's beyond parody. There's only so much I can say to make fun of this, because it makes fun of itself by existing. Like, my first thought was like, when's April Fool's Day? But we're in December. It's not for a very long time. All right, back to planet Earth, because I think we were on Mars for that one. NYX has released the BUTTERMELT GLAZE Soft Glow Skin Tint SPF 30. So, I have mixed feelings about this. If y'all have been watching my videos, I am keeping a closer eye on NYX now, because I love their Pro Fix Concealer Stick Corrector in pink. It has redefined my base routine. So, I'm interested. Like if they're coming out with something new like this, because that was a fairly new launch, my eyes are, I'm interested. I want to hear what they have to say. I prefer skin tints to just not have SPFs most of the time, because I'm going to use an SPF underneath either way. So having something unnecessary like that just doesn't really appeal to me. But I have been kind of curious about maybe trying a drugstore skin tint when my Glossier one is used up. So I'm like, okay, it's NYX, I'm listening. But then it's only available in 10 shades, which is really disappointing. I know it's a skin tint, it's supposed to be sheer, but they call them flexible shades. And whenever companies say they're flexible shades, I'm instantly like, you just don't want to make more shades. I don't know if I believe they're that flexible, because also it doesn't tell you how much coverage the skin tint has. But in the model photos, I mean, it doesn't look like full coverage, but it certainly doesn't look so sheer that having 10 shades would be okay. And they do seem... It does seem like somewhat of a balanced shade range, I suppose. Although, I don't know. On the models, it looks a little bit more balanced. But actually on the swatches, I don't know. I just with all the undertones out there and all the depths of skin tones, both in the fairest of us and the deepest of us, anytime there's 10 shades, it just seems like you are asking for compromise in how people are going to enjoy the product. And on top of that, what I was thinking before I even clocked that it was only 10 shades, NYX, as much as I love that corrector, when I've tried to look or swatch their other complexion products at Ulta or Target or wherever I am, the shades always look a little off. They just always look a little off. And, I never know which one to buy. So I'm already kind of NYX kind of does something weird with undertones, and I kind of never know which shade I am. And this isn't making it any easier, I feel like. It also looks really dewy on some of the models, really, really dewy, and I have just been more in my natural matte bag. So, I don't know. I would be interested to swatch this, but I would really have to swatch it to even see if I would want to put it on a wish list. But the fact that it's only 10 shades and there's SPF in it, as much as I wanted to be interested or was curious, it just, I don't know if it's doing anything for me. All right, this is the second release of why I wanted to do this video. Glossier is one of my favorite brands that's well documented on my channel. they released a new product. Whenever Glossier releases a new product, I'm interested. It's probably the brand I've tried the largest percentage of their makeup from. I maybe have tried every type of their makeup formulas, but maybe not. Most, if not all. I have tried most of Glossier. I'm very familiar with the brand. So whenever they release a new product, I'm interested. Until they released a shadow stick. It is inspired by late 80s and early 2010s music culture. And I saw them, I saw the brand actually at Glossier. Yes, direct from the brand. The shade world of our new shadow sticks were inspired by the raw energy of indie sleaze. Indie sleaze? Like, what are you... Brands are allowed to change. Brands are allowed to grow. I just have... if somebody was like, okay, a brand is going to come out with an indie sleaze collab. I'd say Isamaya. I'd say NYX. I'd say About Face. I would say pretty much most other brands besides Glossier. It's a little random. And to do it during the holiday season when you've already released all your holiday products, the names are Rhody, Hook, Riff, Amp, and Stereo. The colors look interesting. And it looks to be like a much more like satiny shadow stick formula, but it is like in a chubby stick. The branding is very, very minimal, but I usually like Glossier's branding and I don't have like a problem with this necessarily, but it is like kind of their more lifeless, minimalist branding. And I understand like the shades do kind of recall that indie sleaze 2010s era of music, and I guess also the 80s according to this marketing copy. And like Hook looks really pretty. I think that's like the tarnished silver. I'm sure they're okay. The timing is odd. It feels so not even half-assed. It feels quarter-assed because the packaging feels so nothing. It seems like the theme around them is something you just were like, indie sleaze? I think our customers like indie sleaze. But you're also, with shadow sticks, so many brands are at a similar price point who already have shadow sticks. Also, a lot of drugstore brands also already have shadow sticks and have colors like that I'm sure are similar. I'm just a little puzzled, to be totally honest. I'm just a little puzzled. Because it looks less like indie sleaze and something somebody would have worn to like a Train concert in 2008. And I'm saying that as somebody who has seen Train live in concert. Twice. And this collection is so... like, it's just like, I saw it and I was like, automatic flop. That's gonna flop. Like, that's not gonna do well. What are we doing? Okay, also, in the Too Little Too Late, We Love You JoJo realm of the releases, Colourpop, with their Soul brand, which I guess is still a thing, their Soul Body brand, that's like a sub-brand, has released bronzing drops, basically is the gist of it. Oh, is there only one shade too? That's wild. So it's one shade of bronzing drops. They have the same exact packaging as the Drunk Elephant ones, just in Colourpop packaging. I feel like it's a good case study on what has happened with Colourpop, because I feel like back in Colourpop's heyday, they would have been one of the first to actually dupe Drunk Elephant with the bronzing drops. And now they're like so far behind the curve, and they're doing it like in the dead of December. When they've decided to drop their product. I feel like Colourpop is known for having like their own lab, and it's really easy. Like they can find something they like, or like think of something they want to do, and within a week, allegedly, or something, like they can produce it and it can be done. And it's just so interesting because the brand just seems very personalityless now and very uninspired, and they keep coming out with dupes or dupe-esque products like this way after more mainstream brands do. And like back in the day, it felt like they were the ones who were beating the e.l.f.s and the Milanis and the Maybellines of the world to duping items and to kind of like that virality, like, oh my gosh, is the blank as good as the blank thing. And now they're so far behind that they're releasing bronzing drops years, it feels like, even after other lower cost brands have already done their alternative to the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops, with shades, mind you. Like, most of them have released multiple shades. And not only has Colourpop taken a while, they have also just done one shade. It's just like, what happened, babe? Maybe it's all the bad juju we gave them after they collabed with Harry Potter. Down bad crying at the gym. So Milani just released the Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. Ultra lightweight, silky formula, buildable light to medium coverage, natural soft matte blurred finish. And I thought it was interesting because it reminds me a lot of my beloved Ilia complexion stick. And that one is so expensive. I think it might be like $50. I think it's around $50. And this one is, I feel like, still really expensive for the drugstore. It's $16.99. I'm sure you can buy Milani on sale at a lot of places. Ulta does like buy one, get one 50% off a good bit. I know if you buy drugstore makeup from CVS, it's really easy to like stack discounts and rewards and such. But I thought it was interesting just because it does really remind me of my Ilia complexion stick, especially with like the fact that it's supposed to be blurring, but it's soft matte and it's like hydrating. And apparently there's muru butter in it, which doesn't have anything to do with anything, but it's there and it's in a stick. And there's 25 shades. I have the Ilia one, and that's the one I want to focus on, so I don't think I would purchase this at this point. But especially because Ilia is now at Ulta, so you could actually swatch the formulas side by side or like see if they feel the same. And that's probably just like more what I am talking about is I would like to do that. I'm interested if this could be an option for me whenever I use up the Ilia stick, because I really do love that product. But if there's something that's like much, much cheaper, that could be interesting. No, I'm kind of into like lower priced brands maybe releasing more stick foundations and stick complexion products, because I feel like they used to be really, really bad, but now we have kind of the technology and insights to make them a little bit more modern and better. So it'd be cool if that also made its way to like the lower cost brands. E.l.f. released these glowy lip oils, which I kind of want one or two of these. So they're $8, which I think is the price of their normal lip oils, and I think it's the same formula, but they just have pearl in them. And they have a lot of really, really cute, pretty options. I have been wanting a lip gloss with like glimmer or glitter or glimmer, shimmer, whatever. I've been wanting a lip gloss that was like glowy, but not just like dewy glowy, but like glittery, like shimmer. So I know I like this formula. I think I'm at the end of my clear e.l.f. lip oil. I may get one or two of these. Today I'm wearing clear lip oil and I just tapped a little bit of the r.e.m. liquid shadow and UFO over it. And I'm glad I did that to like test out if I even liked the look of like a glittery lip on myself, but I do. I do like it. I do like a little bit of pearl. And I don't have any like glittery lip glosses or oils or anything. So this seems like it could be a good option for me. I would probably like want to try to swatch them at Ulta to see if they look actually pretty, but I'm interested. e.l.f. Okay, Salt New York has released a limited edition product. It's called Mood Lighting. It's an all-in-one blush, highlighter, and lip balm. The lip balm claim really is interesting to me. All-in-one blush and highlighter, like that's pretty common, but then to say it's also a lip balm, along with being a cheek balm, I don't know about that, but it's available in 3 depths. So 1 color, 3 depths. Kind of a cool concept to just have a limited edition product and just make it like so that each skin tone can have their own version of the color, because colors can obviously read very different depending on the context they're in. So I like that. I always like the look of Salt New York stuff, and I like a lot of their products. I've used up several. I've used up the Sneaky Balm. I've used up like a bronzer. Almost done with this contour I have from them. I really do like their products. Their packaging always makes me reach for it less than I normally would. They do have individual compacts now though, which I may look into purchasing down the road if I want to buy anything else from them. And I like that you don't get a ton of product, which seems like it may be a bad thing, but they are very practical because you can use them up. Like it's not like an impossible task to use the Salt New York pan up, which I actually appreciate, because it feels like you're getting like more of the value out of the product, and I feel like the pricing is pretty good for an indie brand. I don't think I'm super interested in this though, just because I feel like I have like this version of product. I have a lot of like cream blushes and cream highlighters that do this sort of thing, that are kind of like a nudie, like barely there beigey color. I can appreciate it, but I also, it doesn't seem that differentiated from what Salt New York is normally doing, which I like what Salt New York normally does. And I appreciate that they do these like holiday collections, but I don't know. It's just not like I would probably need to watch more content about it to understand how this is that much different than their normal products. I guess because maybe it has some like shimmer in it. I don't know. I mean, they look really pretty. They do look really pretty. I just, I don't know, I feel like it's an example of I really do like the brand, and I know I like a lot of stuff from the brand, but that doesn't mean every limited edition thing is something I have to buy just because it is limited edition or just because it is a special release of a product, you know? Okay, I just wanted to comment. Just a comment for the record. So Sephora is doing the Gifts for All event, which is 20% off your purchase. You don't have to be a rouge to get that. And 30% off the Sephora collection. And they do this every year where they really hype up the Sephora sale, spend a bunch of marketing money on it. It's advertised, shoved down our throats. All the influencers post a ton of content about it. It's a big deal, like big deal, capital B, capital D. And then every year for the past few years, they then do this where they're like, actually, none of the vid ever mattered. There are no rules. Anyone can get 20% off like one purchase. And this year, I feel like they're being extra egregious. And maybe they've done this before and I just didn't notice. But they're calling it our biggest sale of the year. And I just... I think it is so funny to like hype up the Sephora sale like they do every fall. Like make sure it gets in right before Black Friday so we know what brands are actually discounting their products for. Hype up that sale, make it seem like the biggest sale in beauty, pay all these people to promote it, incentivize all these influencers to promote it. That's all said and done. And now they're calling this their biggest sale of the year. And I've seen it even like in the influencers are now paying to promote this. Like I've seen them be like, all right, y'all, it's Sephora's biggest sale of the year. And I'm like, I thought we just had Sephora's biggest sale of the year. And now you're saying this is? Because I feel like it used to be more of a sneaky thing. Like they would be like, Sephora sale. 2 weeks later. Actually, all of y'all can go 20% off. But this year it's like, Sephora sale. 2 weeks later. Oh, y'all are so stupid. Anyone can get 20% off. It's our biggest sale of the year. It's almost like trolling at this point. Like maybe we should all take a minute and do better with Sephora because I feel like they're just straight up like that advent calendar and the rewards bazaar. The fact that you have to like compete to redeem your points for an actual gift card, like the $100 Rouge reward. The fact that they make that so hard to get, and now the fact that they are talking about how important it is that you are in the highest tiers, you can get the best savings during their wonderful Sephora sale. And then weeks later, they're like, literally just kidding, this is our biggest sale. You dummies, you're so stupid. Like, are we all masochist? Is that why we like Sephora so much? Because I less and less am I thinking it's a good deal for us. Less and less. I wanted to highlight these sets from About Face, not because I want them. They're still sets and like, I just don't like to buy my makeup in sets because I don't like having the colors pre-chosen, the formulas pre-chosen. Like, some of these products in these sets would maybe interest me individually, but as sets, there's one in each of them that I'm like, I don't actually want that. I actually don't want that. And it's usually, in my opinion, not worth it to get something unless you're going to use every product a lot, or at least find the value in owning that product. But I do think it's actually kind of a good release, which is not what I usually think about makeup value sets. So it's the brand About Face, which is Halsey's brand. And they have these mini 3-product sets, and they all have different types of their products. Like some of them have the liquid blush, some of them have the liquid eyeshadow, some of them have like different lip products or like eyeliners, but they're based around decades. And what's cool is that Halsey's newest album, The Great Impersonator, it's this concept album about what her career would have looked like in different eras. And I'm not a big Halsey fan, but I have a friend who is, and they were like, you have to listen to this album. It's so good. And it's so depressing, so I actually can't listen to it that much, or it'll make me very sad, because it's also a lot about her chronic illness. But it's very, very good. And I just thought, like, I don't know, I feel like in this era of celebrity makeup brands, it's very easy for celebrities to just be like, I released an album, so I'm going to release a lipstick. And it's very, like, lifeless and personality-less. And I thought this was clever, one, because the curations are really good. Like, you can see how each set is definitely inspired by the era. Because there's one for the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and they all look of the era. And then it does actually tie in well to her main artistic endeavor, because the album is divided into those time periods as well. And it's not just like something like cheesy she's doing. It actually makes a lot of sense in the context of the album, and all of the parts really meld together. It's rare to see this creative of synergy between a celebrity and their brand. So I just wanted to highlight that I thought that was cool. Not cool enough for me to buy. Again, I don't think sets are really usually worth it for me, at least. And I don't really see the value in them when there's always going to be a product or two that just don't speak to me. That's my alarm for estrogen. There's usually not going to be all the products that speak to me equally, but I did just want to, tip of the hat to Halsey. And listen to Panic Attack. That song is very, very good. Very good. All right, and that is all. I know it's like a shorter new releases video. There wasn't a ton out there, but enough that I thought it'd be fun to talk about and throw this in as a little clovemas video. So if you did like it, again, give me. I'm so tired, y'all. You have no idea. Go ahead and give this video a like. It helps me a lot in the wild, wild west of the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you want to see future uploads. I have a lot of fun stuff coming with clovemas. And thank you all so much for being here. We are going to be okay. We are. I believe it. Bye, y'all. I usually go in with my left hand, so I'm like reaching across the lens in this video.